Have you ever had a moment where the inside of your mind feels loud, fast, and complete, but the second you try to say it out loud, it collapses into noise? And if you're anything like me, your thoughts don't arrive in clean rows. They show up like a cluster bomb. Ideas, emotions, memories, and metaphors, all landing at once. Then you try to speak, and the translation lags. So you start trying to sound cohesive, or intelligent, or like you actually care. Not because you're pretending, but because the inside of your mind is running at 120 FPS, and your mouth is still stuck at 24. If you ever felt that tension inside your mind, you're not alone. Let's talk about it. I never really struggled with understanding things. That part was always easy. The real challenge was getting the idea out in a way that even remotely matched how clearly it felt in my head. Trying to take this fast, layered, creative, and angry inner world and compress it into a single clean line another person could follow. That mismatch between the richness inside and the clumsy version that comes out is what used to frustrate me the most. But the older I get, the more I realize my brain was never disorganized. It was just running a different format. My mind is open world, and my words have to be side-scrolling. Different engine, different pacing, and different rules. Most people think in sequences. Thought, then thought, then thought. Creative minds think in constellations. Everything connects to everything. This is why you jump topics, you talk in loops, you start at the middle instead of the beginning. You may sound chaotic even though the idea is perfectly clear in your head. It's not confusion, it's overflow. Your brain gives you the whole map at once, but language forces you to walk the map tile by tile. And here's the part I never hear anyone say out loud. It's embarrassing. Not because you don't know what you're talking about. It's that sometimes you'll blurt out a thought that felt perfectly complete in your mind, only to realize a second later, almost like lag, you can hear how clumsy it sounds externally. Or maybe my sense of humor is on some weird frequency. You start thinking, I promise the idea is good, it just didn't spawn in correctly. It's not embarrassment about intelligence. It's embarrassment about translation. Not a lack of clarity, just a different bandwidth. You're trying to fit a whole universe through a straw. For me, this wasn't some big revelation or a dramatic turning point. It was more like a slow evolution. It's a long, ongoing process learning how to take the open world chaos of the brain and turn it into something other people can follow. I've always been a metaphor person, and I've always solved problems by reframing them, turning a feeling into an image, and turning an idea into a picture I could navigate. So over time, I just got better at it, not through hacks or systems, but through the discipline of trying to articulate what I actually feel, over and over and over again, until the shape becomes clear. That's all structure really is. Not bullet points, not templates, just the craft of giving your thoughts an entry point so other people can enter the room with you. Your thoughts don't need to change. Your output structure does. The more I tried to actually shape what was already inside, the more I realized something important. I wasn't organizing my thoughts, I was aligning them. There's a difference. When people hear structure, they imagine discipline, rules, productivity apps. But that's not what I'm talking about. Alignment is softer, more intuitive, It's not forcing your mind into a system. It's giving your ideas somewhere to land. It's giving them lanes. Because when everything inside is everywhere, you're not scattered. You just haven't chosen the path the idea wants to walk yet. This video right here, it didn't start as a sentence. It started as a feeling. The frustration of having too many ideas in my head and not knowing where to begin. So I didn't organize it. I didn't sit down with a checklist or ask myself a bunch of smart sounding questions. I just started the way I always start. I have a thought that becomes an idea, that becomes inspiration. I throw a raw version somewhere, a WhatsApp message to myself, a chaotic Miro sticky note, just something to catch the feeling before it evaporates. And when I see a window to elaborate, okay, let me just start talking. Let me see where this actually wants to go. And once I do that, once the noise settled a little, the real questions show up on their own. What am I actually feeling here? What metaphor is trying to form? What's the simple truth hiding underneath all this noise? Alright, I'm making a video. Not strategy, not technique, just alignment. Letting the thought pick its own lane. And then it clicks. The moment where the noise settles, where nothing makes sense, and then suddenly, it does. If your brain feels loud, fast, non-linear, overwhelming, you're not alone. You're not failing. You're not scattered. You're not trying too hard to sound smart. Your mind is fast and vast, and the world is structured, and meaning travels slowly. Alignment might just be the bridge you might need the most. Thank you for listening. I'll see you on the next one.